Welcome to the digestive system. Here, the food you eat is absorbed and processed. This is done in 4 stages. Ingestion, in other words, eating, taking in nutrients and important parts of the food. Digestion, using physical and chemical means to break down complex organic molecules into smaller, usable parts. Absorption, pulling in digested molecules into the cells of the digestive tract, then into the blood. Egestion, the removal of waste food materials from the bodies. These 4 steps are done by the digestive system. The steps occur in the gastrointestinal tract, also called the alimentary tract. A long tube opens up at both ends. Accessory glands such as liver and pancreas help during the process.
You've already entered the mouth and are probably well acquainted with the fluid saliva. It contains a chemical called amylase enzymes. This breaks down complex carbohydrates called starch into simple carbohydrates. The purpose of saliva is to make food easier to swallow and dissolve food particles to give food taste. As we make our way to the stomach, a stop is made at the esophagus. Its walls of smooth muscle are stretched and contractions called peristalsis. The reason why you can swallow food and fluids and have them travel from the esophagus to the stomach while standing on your head is due to this. The contractions happen involuntarily and help move food along the gastrointestinal tract. Food is only moved voluntarily when swallowing.
We're now in the stomach. Here, food is stored and protein is first digested. Food is entered and exited by circular muscles called sphincters. The stomach lining, made of thick mucus, detects the food and releases gastrin, a hormone that triggers the release of gastric juice. The lining of the stomach protects it from getting damaged, and the gastric juice makes sure to kill most of the bacteria that enters the stomach. If the gastroesophageal sphincter doesn't close properly, the juice enters the esophagus and produces a burning sensation in your throat. This sensation is called acid reflux, or commonly known as heartburn. The gastric juice contains hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen. The acid converts pepsinogen to pepsin, which is an enzyme that breaks down protein into amino acids. The chyme, a semi-liquid mixture of food and gastric juice, is then pushed to the small intestine through the pyloric sphincter, thus ending the chemical digestion in the stomach. Small intestines come next. They are divided into 3 parts: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. In the duodenum, most chemical digestion takes place by the chemicals secreted from the liver and pancreas. When chyme enters the duodenum, secretin, a hormone that stimulates the secretion of pancreatic and bile juices, are released. The action of the enzyme pepsin begins to wear off, and to break down the leftover protein, the pancreas secretes trypsinogen, which is turned into trypsin by an enzyme called enterokinase. At the same time, the pancreas also secretes an enzyme called lipase to digest lipids, or in other words, fats. After the chyme reacts with lipase, the fat globules aren't yet broken down. So, in order to do this, the secretions from the liver is necessary. The gallbladder secretes bile through the bile duct that breaks down fat globules into tiny particles called micelles. This is important so the digestion of lipids is made easier. As the chyme that had proteins, carbohydrates, and fats broken down, it travels down the duodenum and goes through the other 2 sections of the small intestine, the jejunum and the ileum. This is where most of the nutrients are absorbed from the chyme by finger-like projections in the small intestine called villi. These increase the surface area of the intestine as well as pass the absorbed nutrients to the bloodstream and into the capillaries so it returns to the heart and the rest of the body. This marks the end of the 3rd stage, absorption.
You are now deep in the abdomen at the pancreas. It is two glands that are intimately mixed together into one organ. The bulk of the pancreas is composed of exocrine cells that produce enzymes to help with the digestion of food. These exocrine cells release their enzymes into a series of progressively larger tubes called ducts that eventually join together to form the main pancreatic duct. The main pancreatic duct runs the length of the pancreas and drains the fluid produced by the exocrine cells into the duodenum, the first part of the small intestine. The second functional component of the pancreas is the endocrine pancreas. The endocrine pancreas is composed of small islands of cells called the islets of Langerhans. These endocrine cells don't release their secretions into the pancreatic duct. Instead, they release hormones such as insulin and glucagon into the bloodstream, and these hormones in turn help control blood sugar glucose levels. Secretin, a hormone that stimulates pancreatic and bile secretions, contains enzymes that promote the breakdown of the three major components contained in food: protein, carbohydrates, and lipids.
The large intestine is where the ending of the digestive system takes place. The last stage, digestion, the removal of waste products, takes place here. The large intestine is 1.5 meters long and it takes about 18 to 24 hours to digest the food. The digestive system is in charge of converting food into waste and storing it, reabsorbing water, absorbing nutrients, and turning food into energy so that the body can function, grow, and repair itself. The large intestine is divided between organs that help the large intestine. These include the cecum, appendix, colon, rectum, and anus. The cecum is the first part of the large intestine. It is a small pouch located on the right lower abdomen and is also connected to the small intestine and colon. The cecum is in charge of storing processed material from the small intestine and moves it to the colon. An organ that is near the cecum, or better known as the appendix, is next. The appendix has no known function, but it is still part of the large intestine. Next is the colon. The colon is the largest part of the large intestine. In the colon, there is a mixture of fibers, water, and vitamins. All these components are mixed with mucus and bacteria that is within the large intestine and then begin to form waste. As the waste travels through the colon, the bacteria in the colon uses chemicals to break down fibers to help nourish the cell lining in the colon. This is why fiber is important to maintain a healthy colon. The remaining waste liquid content is turned into waste and the water is absorbed. When the walls of the colon contract and with the help of secreted mucus, the waste is transported to the rectum. The rectum stores the waste and waits there before exiting the body through the anus.
And there you have it. You've just toured the entire digestive system. The process of the food traveling through the GI tract took about 24 to 72 hours to complete. Now you know how food is digested the second it enters your mouth until you have to expel those waste products. So, the next time you eat something, think about the amazing things your body is capable of doing and how it is able to complete it without fail.